You may be in your 60s, 70s, even 80s, but you're not done. You're not invisible, and you're not past saving. Your function, your fire, your feeling, it's still there. Hiding beneath stiff blood vessels and a lifetime of forgetting your own needs, but with the right support, it comes back. I've seen it in men who were ready to give up, and I believe it can happen for you too. You don't have to live without joy, without pleasure, without that quiet confidence that makes you feel like a man again. Start small, start today. Because the second death, the one where you stop believing in yourself, it's optional. Beets open the vessels. Watermelon soothes them. Pumpkin seeds fuel the engine. Together, they rebuild circulation, restore confidence, and remind your body what it's capable of. If this helped you or gave you hope, please like, comment, one below, and share this video with a friend. Let's reclaim what aging tried to steal. This is where it begins. 1. Beets, the circulation charger. Most men don't think twice about beets. They're just that reddish vegetable your wife sneaks into salads. Maybe something you juice, if you're on a health kick. But if you're over 60 and struggling with blood flow or weak erections, beets might be the most powerful food you're not using. Not just for your heart, but for your manhood. Let's break this down. Beets are rich in natural nitrates, and those nitrates get converted by your body into nitric oxide. Why does that matter? Because nitric oxide is the master switch for blood flow. It tells your blood vessels to relax and widen so blood can move freely where it's needed most. And when you're over 60, blood flow is everything. Think about it. During arousal, blood needs to rush into the penis and stay there. But if those vessels are narrowed, stiff, or underperforming, the result is soft erections, no erections, or a strange pressure in the groin that never quite turns into anything. This is something no one tells you. That quiet loss of firmness. That weird tight feeling during arousal. It's not just aging, it's your blood vessels crying out for help. I had a patient, let's call him Jerry. He was 71, a retired engineer, still sharp as ever. But he came in and said, "It's like my desire is stuck in traffic. I feel everything, except the blood." He had no medical issues, no depression. But intimacy had become a source of anxiety, not for lack of wanting, but because nothing was happening physically. So we started simple. I told him, every morning, drink 5 ounces of beet juice on an empty stomach. That's it. No pills, no supplements, just juice. And yes, he wrinkled his nose. Beet juice, he said, but he trusted me. Day 5, he felt a tingle. Day 9, his groin felt fuller. By day 14, he was waking up firm again. His confidence started coming back. Why? Because nitric oxide was returning to his system. Beets were literally feeding his circulation. Now, here's the science. Nitric oxide declines with age. By the time you're in your 60s, your body might be producing less than half of what it did in your 30s. That's a big deal. It's not just about erections. It's about oxygen delivery, heart health, mental clarity, everything. Beets help reverse that. And no, you don't have to become a beet fanatic. Here are a few easy ways to use them. Drink 4 to 6 oz of beet juice in the morning. Store-bought or homemade. Roast them and toss into a salad blend. Into a smoothie with berries and lemon. Grate raw beets into slaws or soups. Just be aware, your urine may turn pink. That's called bacteria. It's harmless and actually a sign that the beets are being metabolized by your body. Consistency is key. This isn't a pill. It won't spike your performance. It slowly primes your blood vessels to respond again the way they used to. Beets don't force anything. They support everything. They allow your body to do what it wants to do naturally. One more thing, don't rely on beets alone. In the next section, I'll show you a fruit you've probably tossed aside that works even faster than most pills, with none of the side effects. But for now, if you're looking for a starting point, something real, affordable, and proven, start here. Beets are more than just root vegetables. They're root medicine, and they might be the first quiet step back to feeling like yourself again. Part 2. Watermelon. The blood flow booster. Most people think of watermelon as a refreshing summer snack. Juicy, sweet, and perfect for quenching your thirst. But if you're a man over 60 dealing with weak erections or a strange pressure during arousal, watermelon might be the last thing you'd think to turn to. And yet, it could be exactly what your body is asking for. But not just the red flesh. The magic is hiding in the white rind, the part almost everyone throws away. Here's why that rind matters so much. The white inner layer of watermelon is rich in a natural compound called citrulline. Once you consume it, your body converts citrulline into arginine, and arginine is one of the most important amino acids for sexual health. Why? Because arginine boosts your production of nitric oxide, the very same compound that beets help generate. Nitric oxide relaxes and opens blood vessels, especially in the areas where you need it most, like the tiny arteries in the penis. When these blood vessels are relaxed, blood can flow easily and fully during arousal. But when they're tight, clogged, or inflamed as they often are with age, blood flow gets restricted. That's when men start feeling that tightness, that pressure, that disappointing lack of response. Let me give you a real story. One of my clients, a 68-year-old retired contractor named Dennis, came to me frustrated. He said, "It's like my desire is still there, but my body doesn't deliver." What bothered him most wasn't the lack of erections. It was the way he felt blocked, like something inside was clenched tight, even when he felt ready. That's a common complaint. It's not sharp pain, but more like a dull pressure in the groin, a tension that steals the moment before it begins. I told him to try something odd. Blend watermelon, not just the red, but the white rind too, into a smoothie. Add lemon juice for taste, and drink it mid-morning. He gave me a funny look. "The rind?" "Yes," I said. "The rind is the gold." 10 days later, Dennis called me. He didn't say much, just "It feels like something opened. Like a light switch flipped back on. No medication, no devices, just fruit." That's the beauty of citrulline. It works gently. It supports blood flow naturally. And unlike pills that force blood into the penis, citrulline helps the body do it on its own, the way it used to. Here's how to do it right. Cut a seedless watermelon into cubes. Keep the white rind. Discard only the green outer skin. Blend the red and white parts together with lemon or mint. Drink it mid-morning, around 10 to 11 a.m., when circulation starts to dip if you prefer. Freeze it into smoothie pops or ice cubes for a refreshing afternoon boost. Now let's talk about the science. Multiple studies have shown that L-citrulline supplementation improves erection hardness in men with mild erectile dysfunction. It works by increasing nitric oxide and improving endothelial function. That's the health of the inner lining of your blood vessels. And natural watermelon. It delivers citrulline plus hydration. It helps reduce blood viscosity, supports kidney function, and keeps your vascular system flushed and clean. One more thing. Watermelon has no dangerous side effects, no blood pressure spikes, no headaches, no risk of interacting with other medications. It's just fruit, but fruit with an incredible purpose. So no, watermelon isn't a miracle, but it is one piece of a powerful equation. Combined with other foods like beets and pumpkin seeds, it becomes part of what I call the circulation trifecta, a system that restores not just erections, but confidence and vitality. If you've been feeling tight, numb, or frustrated, just remember, you're not broken. You're just blocked. And watermelon might be the tool that helps you open the floodgates, again, gently, naturally, and in a way that actually lasts. Pumpkin seeds. The Erection mineral mine pumpkin seeds are small. They're the kind of thing you scoop out during Halloween, toss in the trash, or maybe roast once a year. But if you're a man over 60 dealing with weaker erections, a sluggish libido, or strange groin tightness that won't go away, these tiny seeds might hold the nutrients your body is silently craving. Let's take a closer look at what's inside them. Pumpkin seeds are rich in 3 essential compounds that directly support male sexual health: magnesium, zinc, and arginine. Let's start with magnesium. Magnesium is known for calming nerves and muscles, but its role in blood flow is often overlooked. It relaxes smooth muscle fibers, including those that line your arteries and blood vessels. That relaxation allows vessels to open up and accept more blood. And when more blood flows freely, erections become fuller, stronger, and more sustainable. That without enough magnesium, your vessels may stay constricted. That's when men start to feel that familiar dull cramp or pressure during intimacy. Not sharp pain, just tension, a sign the blood is having trouble getting in. Now, zinc. Zinc is one of the most important minerals for testosterone production. Your body can't make or maintain testosterone without it. And yet, by the time you're in your 60s, your zinc levels may have dropped significantly, especially if you're not eating a mineral-rich diet. The result? Lower energy, less drive, poorer performance in bed. Pumpkin seeds contain more zinc per ounce than almost any other plant-based food. And the best part? Your body absorbs it quickly when eaten raw. Then there's arginine, the nitric oxide builder. Arginine is an amino acid that helps your body produce nitric oxide, the compound that tells your vessels to relax and widen. Without arginine, even if you eat beets or watermelon, your body won't reach its full nitric oxide potential. Arginine is the final key in the lock. So here's what I recommend. Take 1 to 2 tablespoons of raw, unsalted pumpkin seeds daily. You can eat them plain in the afternoon. As a snack, add them to oatmeal or yogurt. Sprinkle them on a salador. Blend them into a smoothie with fruit juice. Keep them raw and unsalted. Roasting can damage the delicate oils and reduce their nutrient profile. And salted seeds may counteract the circulation benefits by increasing sodium intake. Let me tell you a story. One of my clients, a 74-year-old retired Air Force colonel, came to me not because he'd lost desire, but because of something more confusing. There's this pressure in my lower pelvis. It's not pain, but it's like my body is bracing against itself. He hadn't had a solid erection in almost a year. We talked diet, lifestyle, blood pressure. Then I asked about his mineral intake. He shrugged. I eat pretty normal, he said. So I asked him to do one thing. Start eating pumpkin seeds. Every day. No pills, no pressure, just seeds. 3 weeks later, he reported 2 major changes. The tightness in his groin. Gone. Morning wood. Back. His words. It's like my body finally exhaled. That's the power of restoring what age slowly drains. Pumpkin seeds don't force erections. They support them. They rebuild the terrain so blood can move freely again. They support hormones. They reduce inflammation, and they nourish the tissue that's been underfed for too long. Combined with beets and watermelon, pumpkin seeds are what gives your progress staying power. They're the daily maintenance tool that locks in your gains. So if you're looking for something simple, affordable, and powerful, look no further. Because these little seeds might be the most important thing you've been overlooking all your life. Part 4. Why they work together. The Circulation Trifecta. By now, you've learned how 3 simple foods, beets, watermelon, and pumpkin seeds, each play a powerful role in boosting circulation, supporting nitric oxide, and restoring performance. But something even more powerful happens when you combine them. It's what I call the Circulation Trifecta, a simple, daily system that works from 3 angles at once. And when these foods are taken together, they don't just add benefits, they multiply them. Let me break it down. Beets are the ignition switch. They jumpstart nitric oxide production. That's the base fuel your blood vessels need to open wide and let blood move freely through the body, including into the penis. Watermelon is the lubricant. The citrulline in its white rind softens the walls of your smallest blood vessels, especially in the pelvic region. This eases the tension that causes the dull, unspoken pressure many men feel during arousal. Pumpkin seeds are the engine stabilizer. They provide the minerals your system quietly depends on: zinc for testosterone, magnesium for blood vessel relaxation, and arginine to reinforce nitric oxide output all day long. So here's the big idea. Beets open the gate, watermelon widens the road, pumpkin seeds keep the traffic flowing smoothly. And this system doesn't just work in theory, it works in real life. One man I coached, 69 years old, previously skeptical, had been drinking beet juice for 2 weeks. Some improvement, but nothing dramatic. Then he added a watermelon smoothie mid-morning and a tablespoon of pumpkin seeds in the afternoon. 10 days later, he said, something clicked. I didn't even notice it at first, but things just felt smoother, easier, like my body wasn't resisting anymore. That's the power of nutrient synergy, when compounds work better together than they do alone. Doctors call it nutrient stacking. And unlike pharmaceutical combinations, these stacks are natural. They don't come with warnings or side effects. They come with momentum. Instead of shocking your system, you're aligning it, supporting it gently and consistently. You're not just forcing an erection, you're rebuilding the entire environment that supports one. That's why this system works for men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, because the body still knows what to do. It just needs the tools. And that's what the Circulation Trifecta is. A tool, a strategy, a quiet way to get your body back on your side. So if you've tried one food and didn't see results, don't give up. The magic isn't in one piece, it's in the way the pieces fit together. Next, I'll show you the biggest mistake most men make after 60, and how you can avoid falling into that trap. Part 5. The number 1 mistake men make after 60. If there's one mistake I see older men make again and again, it's chasing the quick fix. The blue pill, the shortcut, the instant spark. And listen, I get it. When your body isn't responding the way it used to, when every intimate moment feels like a gamble, when your partner starts to look at you differently and you start avoiding the bedroom altogether, you want something to work. right? Now, that's where medication steps in. Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, they promise fast results, and at first, they deliver. But here's the hard truth. No one wants to admit, those pills don't fix anything. They don't rebuild your blood vessels. They don't restore nitric oxide. They don't repair the fragile arteries in your groin. They simply force blood into a system that's already worn down. It's like cranking the volume on a broken speaker. You might hear something louder, but the crackling, the distortion, the damage, it's still there. And over time, that system breaks down even more. One man I worked with, 66 years old, told me something painful. I've gone from needing one pill to needing two, and now even that barely works. I don't feel like a man anymore. I feel like I'm on life support down there. That's not intimacy, that's dependency. And here's what's even more dangerous. Relying on pills trains your body to expect external force instead of internal function. Your blood vessels stop responding on their own. Your nitric oxide levels remain low, and eventually, even the medication stops helping. That's the number one mistake I see. Trying to treat the symptom instead of healing the system. Because here's the truth, if your erections are weak, if you're feeling pressure, tension, or numbness down there, it's not because your manhood is failing. It's because your circulation is crying out for help. And no pill can nourish that. Only food, movement, hydration, and time can. Let me tell you about a man named Paul. He was 73. He'd been on ED medication for 12 years. By the time he came to me, even doubling the dose wasn't helping. He felt lost, embarrassed, ashamed. We didn't add another prescription. We went natural. I asked him to commit to 3 things: a glass of beet juice every morning, watermelon smoothie, mid-morning, a tablespoon of pumpkin seeds. In the afternoon, he said, "That's it." I said, "That's enough." Week 1, he felt a little more energy. Week 2, the groin tightness faded. Week 3, he woke up with his first natural erection in nearly 5 years. But what he said next hit me hardest. It wasn't even about the erection. It was about feeling alive again. That's what happens when you support your body instead of forcing it. So if you're frustrated, if you feel like nothing's working, remember this: you are not too old, you are not broken, and you are not out of options. You just need to stop chasing artificial fixes and start supporting what's already inside you, waiting to be restored, because healing doesn't start with a prescription. It starts with nourishment, with patience, and with trust in your body's ability to bounce back at any age. In the next part, I'll give you a simple, realistic, 7-day plan to help you get started. And yes, it's easier than you think. Part 6, the 7-day circulation action plan. Now that you understand how beets, watermelon, and pumpkin seeds work, and why pills can often do more harm than good, it's time to take action. This is where change really begins. What I'm about to share is a simple, no-fuss 7-day plan that puts all 3 foods into motion. No complicated diet, no expensive powders, just real food, real habits, and a routine your body can rely on. You don't need perfection, you just need consistency. And most men who follow this plan start noticing changes in blood flow, energy, and confidence within 7 to 14 days. Here's how it works. Morning, on an empty stomach, drink 5 to 6 ounces of 100% beet juice. Make it fresh, if possible, or buy bottled. Just make sure it's pure and unsweetened. Drink it before breakfast or coffee to maximize nitric oxide production. Mid-morning, 10 to 11 a.m. Make a watermelon smoothie using both the red flesh and the white rind. Add water, lemon juice, or mint. The rind contains citrulline, which helps expand your blood vessels and improve microcirculation. Afternoon, 2 to 4 p.m. Eat 1 to 2 tablespoons of raw, unsalted pumpkin seeds. They're rich in zinc, magnesium, and arginine, minerals that support testosterone, vessel relaxation, and long-term nitric oxide output. Throughout the day, stay hydrated. Water supports blood viscosity and keeps circulation smooth. As a rule, aim for half your body weight in ounces of water daily. If you weigh 180 pounds, that's 90 ounces of water. Light movement 2x daily, after breakfast and dinner. Take a 10-minute walk. It's not about burning calories, it's about activating your blood vessels and telling your body to keep the flow going. Morning mindset reset. Every morning, say this to yourself: I'm not declining, I'm rebuilding. That shift alone can make this feel less like a chore and more like a mission, one worth sticking to. Prep tips for success. Make beet juice the night before so mornings are easy. Freeze watermelon cubes in bulk for quick blending. Seeds in small bags and keep them where you'll see them. Set reminders on your phone if needed. Your body is worth it. One of my clients, a 71-year-old grandfather and former marathon runner, followed this plan for 2 weeks. He was skeptical. He'd tried everything from supplements to hormone therapy. But on day 8, he emailed me one sentence: "I woke up this morning, and everything just worked." That's the power of consistency. Not a miracle, not a gimmick. Just biology given the chance to breathe again. So here's your invitation. Follow this plan for 7 days. Then keep going. Give your body rhythm. Give it the signal that it's safe to perform again. Because when you commit to nourishing from the inside out, the outside starts to respond, often faster than you expect. You're not trying to be 25, you're trying to feel like you again. In this plan, it's your first real step. Up next, we'll go deeper into the real reason this matters now more than ever. Final message. Before we wrap up, I want you to hear this loud and clear. You are not broken, you are not past your prime, and you are absolutely not alone. The pressure, the silence, the frustration, they're not signs of failure. They're your body asking for support, and that support doesn't come from a pill. It comes from nourishment, from rhythm, from believing that healing is still possible. Because this isn't just about blood flow. It's about your confidence, your identity, your quiet strength as a man. You still have time. You still have power. And what's ahead of you can be even stronger than what's behind. So keep going. You're not just aging. You're coming back to life.